My name is Cory Hoerter, and I'm currently a fourth year Public Health Administration major at Miami University. I'm here to talk about creating a complete sexual education program. So, an overview on sexual health. As of 2019, STDs are on the rise in the United States. 2019 saw 1.7 million chlamydia cases. Gonorrhea is at its highest prevalence since 1991, and syphilis cases have increased by 14% as reported by the CDC. These diseases are extremely prevalent, and some are beginning to develop antibiotic resistance to drugs that are in place to prevent them. Young people also don't know the value of getting tested for STDs. They may not have the resources or know where to go to get tested for common STDs. Sexual health information may also not be readily available in some communities. Some communities may not want to talk about sex. Young people don't ask these questions and maybe can't because sex may be off limits. People are scared to talk about things that make them uncomfortable, and sex is usually one of them. What's causing the problem? So the biggest cause of the rise in STDs is cuts to STD program funding. A lot of state and local STD prevention programs have seen major budget cuts recently, and this is only leading to clinic closures, staff shortages, and reduced screening services. This is just making it a lot harder for people to get sexual health information and to even get tested for STDs when they already may not know where to go or may already be confused. Drug use and stigma surrounding safe sex is also a big issue. One of the biggest age groups that are affected by STDs and are causing this drastic rise are young adults, those between the ages of 18 and 29, and a lot of those young adults are using drugs and alcohol. And when a person is drunk, they may not remember to wear a condom, or they may not know how to make consent when they're drunk. They may not be able to. And this creates a big problem with the spread of STDs. And the stigma just surrounding STDs and safe sex in general is in a bad spot. STDs are kind of seen as really dirty, and a lot of young people kind of think they're invincible and that they won't catch an STD as long as they don't think about it. And just an overall decreased condom use is causing a lot of STD rises today. So, the Adolescent Family Life Act. Before this act was passed in 1981, sexual health in the United States was in a good spot. It focused a lot on prevention methods like birth control and condoms. But as the AIDS epidemic took hold, the government completely upheld that form of sexual health education and created the Adolescent Family Life Act. And this created a new goal for sex ed, but it based sexual education in religion, and it valued chastity over everything. It relied on scare tactics to scare teens and young children into not having sex. They would most likely show pictures of extreme cases of STDs, and even use the scare tactic of going to hell if you have premarital sex. This type of sexual health education did not present scientific information, and it didn't value scientific information at all. It drastically changed how sex ed was taught in the United States, and it was publicly funded until 2010. So multiple generations of people went through school with this type of sexual health education, and their knowledge on sexual health is based in these values. So in order to combat all of that, a new type of sexual education is called Comprehensive Sex Education, or CSC. And this new approach to sex education focuses more on a lifelong approach. They want to teach sex topics throughout the life course to encourage safe sex behaviors. And instead of focusing on puberty or while in high school, this type of sexual education begins in early childhood and follows people throughout the life course. It's got a broad curriculum. CSE does not focus solely on abstinence or STDs or prevention methods, but it wants to teach about the full aspects of sexuality and sex. So topics can include consent, sexuality, what's a healthy versus non-healthy relationship, and even decision making. And this type of sex education is more compact and teaches a broader range of topics. So my campaign that I decided to create was going to be a sexual health information website. I wanted to have a single spot with a wealth of information that was based on CSE topics and guidelines. I wanted to promote safe sex, sexual information, STD testing, and especially consent. And I wanted to make it all readily available in one place, easy to find. And I thought a website would also improve overall access to this type of information because a lot of my target audience, which is young people, are online a lot. So I thought that this would be an easy way to engage them. And I also tried to make it fun to attract that wider audience to encourage lifelong learning on sex topics. So here are some promotional materials that I made for this website. I made a promotional tweet that can kind of just be used as a general way to get people to gain traction to the site. I also made a little Instagram ad, and it's based on Pokemon, so it's kind of aimed at a younger audience because I wanted to get younger people to want to learn about sex and to visit the site and to know that sex isn't a scary topic. It's not something to be shamed about. And I hoped that by using Pokemon and things that were geared at younger audiences that they would want to learn about these topics. And then I also just have like a general poster with some sexual information on it. These could be hung up in clinics, in doctors' offices, and even in classrooms. It kind of just promotes getting tested, wearing a condom, and honestly, all of these are based in safe sex. So even if they're just looking at the advertisement or the tweet or the poster, they are still getting positive sexual health messages. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and please wear a condom.